The FCS college football experience week 7 preview and picks episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN to get 50% off your deposit bonus up to $1,000, folks. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the FCS college football experience week 7 preview and picks episode. I was trying to get this thing earlier, out there earlier too. I just been fighting. I had guest spots. I had wedding anniversary last night. I was trying to get it earlier. It's the best I could do for this week. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hope you dig the show. Hit that like and subscribe button. I did just lose on Cornell plus 12.5. Come on, Big Red and Jamison Wang as a Friday night FCS action hovered at 138-20. So not starting off the FCS week incredible, starting off the college football week pretty good, but not the FCS front. But we're about to have the Prairie View Arkansas Pine Bluff game kick within a matter of 5 minutes. I don't know about you folks, but shop around because there's like 5s out there. There's 6, there's 7, there's 8. Welcome to FCS college football. I would tend to think Prairie View under 7 is a safe play right there, but you got about 5 minutes to get that in. Shout out to the chat once again, youtube.com/the college experience. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dad, aka Pick D. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes. We got some fire slates. If you spread out the time slates on what games are played where, we got a fire schedule overall. Remember, tomorrow morning I'll be live at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern pregame show. And then tomorrow night we have a reaction show that's more of an FBS reaction show, but the FCS reaction show will be out on Monday. Let's go. Let's just jump right into this action because there's a bunch of games and we got a Big Ten basketball preview that we're doing in a little bit here, so we're just loading up. All right. I got slides. I got everything. Let's go. Let me see if I can figure this out. I always fuck this up. Here we go. Fucking Dartmouth at 9 a.m. tomorrow on the west, noon on the east. Fucking Dartmouth is heading into New Haven, Connecticut to the Yale Bowl. Take on these Bulldogs. I ate shit fading the tragic magic with Dartmouth. I think this is a good spot, and the line is telling you, right? Fucking Dartmouth is 3-0, right? They're 3-0. Yale is 2-1. Yale also won by 1. I hope you cashed in on my Central Connecticut State play last week. I mean, Yale's they've won against Holy Cross by 7, and Holy Cross isn't that good this year. And Central Connecticut State by 1. They lost to that same Cornell team that got waxed tonight by 24 points. The line is telling you everything here. Give me Yale -1.5. This is a get right spot for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, Dartmouth is coming off that emotional game where they're playing for the coach that recruited them, that had been with them over the past few years. Buddy Tevens, as they're naming it, the field for him and everything. So I think it's a get right spot. Just I think it's a wise play. Wise play. EB Steelers, let me know. Shit. Send me a DM. Send me a DM talking about this. All right. At the Colby D, or you can find my email. It's out there on the interwebs. But yeah, I like Yale to get this thing done. Moving along. I got a wager for us. The fucking Long Island Sharks are laying 8.5 at home against Stonehill. Over under at 47.5. Personally, I know we finally ate shit with Long Island last weekend against Duquesne, but Duquesne's actually pretty good. This is where it comes. This is where it comes crashing down. Stonehill just lost 28-7 to Wagner. The fucking Sharks up there at Old Westbury are gonna get it done. Lock it up. Lay the 8.5. They're the best 0-6 team in America. I tell you that right now. They got the quarterback Luca Stanziani. I don't fucking remember. But I can tell you this: the Sharks are gonna be swimming in cash come Saturday morning. Yeah, I've been busy since I look homeless. Well, I spent so much time living in Venice Beach. I can't help but when I go out the house, look a little homeless. You know what I mean? And you're married, got a kid, newborn. You don't sleep ever. It's just normal. It's normal. But the Sharks, I was surprised at this line. I think there's opportunity with these Sharks. Get on in with those Long Island Sharks. We got Northwestern 17, Maryland 7. Hope you're riding the money line with the Wildcats and me. Next up, we got the Davidson Wildcats heading to Dayton, Ohio, a series that goes back to 1989. Just gonna go ahead and say we should bet Dayton because we should. I will lay the 4.5 with Dayton. I think Dayton's pretty good. You look at what they've done. They beat St. Francis, who we know beat an FBS team. We'll be talking about the Red Flash in a minute. They play a huge game this weekend. They did randomly lose to Indiana State, which is a little bit of a red flag. But since then, they've destroyed their competition. I think Dayton is going to get the best of Davidson. You look at what Davidson's done. They got the new stadium and everything, but still, I go back to that Georgetown game where Georgetown stuck it to the Davidson Wildcats. I think the Flyers are going to fly hard. All right, like Bruce Willis. All right, let's go. Lay the 4.5 with the Dayton Flyers right there. See if we can keep this lock train going because I tend to like the 9 a.m. slate better than most here. Columbia, the Lions, who are 2-1, lost at Georgetown. They're heading to Staten Island. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, and I mean, am I crazy? I know Columbia won 28-7 last year. So you're thinking this is probably how they came, probably how they were like deciding the line, but I don't understand why. I think we should take Wagner. and I'm close to betting this. Actually, let's bet this. They're laying 14.5. Who the fuck is Columbia to be laying 14.5? I mean, I get it. They're third in the Ivy right now. They beat Lafayette. They did beat Lafayette though. That's a good win. All right. I'm staying away. Let's stay away. The chat's asking if I locked Dartmouth. No, I actually took Yale. No bet in that game though. But I did bet the fucking Long Island Sharks and the Dayton Flyers. All right. So please jump on over there and bet those and follow Dundee to victory lane. Folks, want to tell you that the FCS College Football Experience is brought to you by us, SGPN. Look, Hurricane Helene has been absolutely devastating. It's been, I mean, if you haven't seen the videos and footage of what has happened to the Appalachians, essentially the West, specifically more so the Western Carolina, North Carolina area, all that area up there in the mountains, Boone, Asheville, Cullowhee, all this, that Dirty Dancing town where they shot the movie there. I only know that because Swayze's the greatest. But yeah, I mean they really got fucked up, guys, and we have to step up. You know what I mean? Like, and it took us a couple days to do our due diligence, but SGPN is teaming up with a local charity, mountainprojects.org. We're going to try our best to help and give back. And please, we encourage you to do your best to do that, because this is come on, this is what we're supposed to do. You know, these are our fellow Americans, brothers and sisters, and they've people have lost their house, their job, their cars, their everything you could think of, their family. Some of them have lost their own family members. So it's really horrible what's going on up there, and that's when we got to step up. You know what I mean? It's what we should be doing, you know? And I would expect the same if something happened to me. I would hope that good everyday people that listen to this podcast would step up and help me out a little bit. But yeah, I really would though. And I think, look, the biggest donation, whoever makes the biggest donation will get a guest spot on the Sports Gambling Podcast, College Football Pick Show. Myself, Stacking the Money Green, Real Money Kramer, all talking college ball there. We're also going to hook them up with a ton of SGPN gear. Go to mountainprojects.org and please, if you can, hit flood support and let's help some people out, people. It's we just need to. We need to. So it's our due diligence, man. This needs to happen. All right. And don't worry, Matt. We did our due diligence on mountainprojects.org. The money's actually going to go there. All right. So please, mountainprojects.org, and let's help out our people. All right. The Wagner mascot is a Seahawk there. Austin in the chat's asking, youtube.com/the college experience. St. Thomas is heading into Marist. Poughkeepsie? How do I pronounce that? Poughkeepsie, New York. Marist is laying, St. Thomas is laying 13. We should hammer this one. What? Marist is fucking horrible. Lock. St. Thomas has actually started to turn the corner. Struggled early in the season. They're 2-3, but they just beat Stetson by 10. They got Black Hills State by 10. Lindenwood did whoop their ass, but they kept it close with Northern Iowa. I think they can go up there and cover the 13. Marist is fucking horrible. Moving along. Mercyhurst is catching 24 at Central Connecticut State and New Britain. Staying away from this one, but give me the points. This game is fantastic. Duquesne heading to Loretta, Pennsylvania. This game is intriguing because of the aspect of they've been playing it since 1913. They're not this is like college football 101 right here. They're not that far from one another. Duquesne is laying 1.5, and you got to be thinking here that you might be in a spot to be the best team in the NEC. If you could, the winner will be in a decent spot. I think Duquesne's better, but St. Francis did beat an FBS, so they're showing you that potential the Red Flash have. But I think Duquesne's better. I will lay the 1.5. No bet though. I am Jong to answer your question. Yes, is that a yeah? Well, No, they're favored by 13. John, St. Thomas is favored by 13, but you can play it on the money line. That'll hit. Next up, Georgetown, Lafayette. Lafayette's laying 14.5 points against my Hoyas. Series goes back to 1902. And Austin's wondering if Marist is the worst FCS. Yes. I think them or Presbyterian. I think Presbyterian might be worse. Lafayette though, Georgetown. I'm fascinated by this game. Georgetown. Which Georgetown Hoya team are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the team that beat Columbia? That's got pretty good playmakers on the outside. Danny Lauder at the quarterback spot, or are we gonna get? I mean, so they've had some nice wins. They're 3-2. But I can't help but think of that fucking Sacred Heart game where Sacred Heart won 40-14. So it's a risky play with the Hoyas this year. Lafayette was the preseason favorite to me to make the FCS playoffs in the Patriot League. They have not looked as good as a season ago, and I thought they would take another step forward this season with what was returning. They did beat Fordham this past week, but 28-23 in a close one. I think you have to take the Hoyas here plus the points. I know Lafayette, just winning, maybe they're able to turn it on or something here, but I just think it's too many points, and I almost feel like they're baiting you in a way with the 14.5. But I just trust with my eyes. I think Georgetown has played a pretty good season thus far, way better than I thought after they got hit in the portal severely. So I think the Hoyas plus 14.5. I think it's pretty damn close to being a lock. Maybe I'm biased a little bit here, but I think we should consider it. Moving forward, Missouri State's heading into Normal, Illinois. Take on Illinois State. Illinois State's laying 2.5. Missouri State jump into the FBS next year. They need to get some splash wins. A win like this against a team that has been pretty good this season would be huge for Missouri State, led by their quarterback Jacob Clark and their wide receiver Hunter Wood. But I've been impressed. Now I ate shit with Northern Illinois. With Illinois State against North Dakota State 2 weeks ago, but that's North Dakota State. They bounced back against the Salukis and look pretty fucking good. I am gonna just take Illinois State. I think we bet this one. Illinois State minus 2.5. Let's go. That's a good point. Mississippi Valley State also in the mix for worst team. But yeah, I just think, come on now. This is a good game. Moving forward, Bucknell and Penn. The series goes back to 1895, folks. Didn't even have electricity. All right, but we had Bucknell Penn, and you wonder how we got here. Penn minus 18.5. The over unders at 53.5. This is disrespectful as well. I think Bucknell can stay within this game. Lock up Bucknell. First off, it's a rivalry game. You know what I mean? Last season, Penn won by 16, right? But I think Bucknell is much better this season than last season. If you watch the Navy game, or the fact that they just beat Lehigh at Lehigh. Now, sure, they were severely outgained, but 18.5 points? Stop it. Franklin Field, the greatest fucking stadium? What are we doing? Can't wait to watch that. Moving along, Murray State is heading into Terre Haute. Both these teams suck ass, if I'm being honest. This series goes back to 1990. Look, Murray State won by 2 last year. They're getting 4.5. Revenge. Give me Indiana State minus 4.5. Don't bet this game. Don't bet this game unless you're going to it. Moving along. Fucking Sacred Heart is heading down to Washington, D.C. Take on the Howard Bison. Howard's laying 6.5. Sacred Heart's been a hard team to understand this year. Howard won by 5 the last time they played in 2021. means nothing for this game. I think Howard's a better team, but Howard's been a little disappointing this year, to tell you the truth. I just think they're better though. They got Edgerrin James's son at the running back spot. They have two good running backs. The other being Jarrett Hunter. But yeah, I think we take Howard -6.5. No lock. Don't bet this one. Albany, the Great Danes are heading over to Bryant, Smithfield, Rhode Island. Albany's laying 7. I struggle with this one. Give me Bryant in the points. I think Bryant has been a complete disappointment, I would say, prior to last week where we hit on Bryant. The roster, I thought they got hit in the portal, but I thought they did a good job replenishing. But sometimes, as you're seeing with a lot of these FBS teams, sometimes you bring in all those faces. It takes a little bit to be cohesive. So I do think we take Bryant +7. Bryant with a big win over the Brown Bears last week. Shout out to that. That's on Flow Sports, by the way. Next up, we jump on over to Fordham, Holy Cross. This goes back to 1902. In a rivalry game, you're going to be laying 16.5 with this year's Holy Cross team? No. Fuck out of here. Lock. I know Fordham is ass. They're 0-6. John was asking about this. Last year was a classic, by the way. You caught this game last year. It was like 49-47, I think it was. But everyone's off that team. Fordham just played Lafayette incredibly close. You're getting 16.5 at Fitton Field there. Sign me up. Give me the points. I know they've been shit this year, but give me the points. Yeah, I will ram it. I forgot I had that song. Let's go, Fordham. We know how to ram it, right? Moving along, we got the likes of. We got a pretty good game here. Red Hot Maine series goes back to 1972, and you got to worry about this series' future, unfortunately, because Delaware jumps to the FBS next year, and you wonder how often they'll play. Kind of sucks. The Black Bears, the Maine Black Bears, who use blue and light blue as their colors, are heading to Newark, Delaware, to take on the 5-0 Delaware Blue Hens. It's a shame they're not allowed in the FCS playoffs because they're starting to look the part there with Phil Lutz and O'Connor there at the quarterback spot. Ryan O'Connor. 19.5 though. Maine has been a fun story. I think everyone saw Randy Moss's son complete that Philly special pass, but Carter Peavy, after coming over from the Mercer Bears, playing solid ball for them. And Randy Moss's son, by the way, does lead the team in receptions. He's got 24 catches, 266 yards, averaging 11.1 yards a catch. Get him the rock. Give me the points on the Black Bears. No wager. But yeah. Moving along, we got the Brown Bears. We got what is this again? This is a rivalry. What the fuck is this called again? Do my quick Brown Rhode Island. It's like the Governor's Cup or some shit like that, I think. What is this called? There's a name for this one, right? Am I full of shit? Governor's Cup. See, I am fucking genius. All right. Brown is catching 6.5 at Rhode Island in Kingston, Rhode Island. This is all Flow Sports. Unfortunately, Rhode Island won by 4 a season ago, and if memory serves me correct, I lost money on that game. Well, I am going to go back to that. Well, how about a little Ram parlay? Give me Rhode Island -6.5 parlayed with the Fordham Rams plus 18. Is it 18.5? Was it? Let's have a little Ram parlay. Next up, I just think Brown was kind of a gimmicky 2-0, and the cream is rising. Is still in the middle of rising to the top. Rhode Island's a better team. Moving along, VMI is heading to Spartanburg, South Carolina to take on Wofford in a series that goes back 100 years. God, it's beautiful. Sean Watson and Wofford have hit rough seas after a nice start. I think we are all wondering, are they really that good? Are they really that good? Well, they've lost 3 straight. And I think George W. said it best when he said,
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
I love how he says in the middle there, I was raised in the desert, but I think it's easy to see a tide turn. Got to throw in the fact he was raised in the desert, meaning he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Love it. And then at the end, did I say those words? Wofford is like, that's a big number though. It's a big number for Danny Rocco and VMI are 0-5. And I gotta be honest, I didn't expect VMI to be like really good in the SoCon, but I thought they were on the track. Remember they had a big upset against Western Carolina. They beat this very Wofford team a season ago, 17-14. I just thought they'd be a little bit better. So I will take VMI and them Keydets. Should we lock this? I mean, but the problem is VMI has just they've gotten fucked up. 27-3 to Samford, 32-10 to Norfolk State, 59-7. Well, Georgia Tech. But I feel like we should lock this. Todd's there with me. This line is too high. 19.5. Fringe. I've already got I've sprayed the board. It's like I've bet the FCS more this week, I think, than any week of the season so far. It's like in Contra when you get the spread, if anyone out there is old enough to play Contra like me back in the day, you get that one weapon where it just sprays the shit all throughout the screen. We called it spread. I don't know if it was actually officially called spread. But I feel like VMI is going to cover this. I feel like it's a solid bet. But because I have so many bets on the board, yeah, maybe it was called spray, Cannabis Capper. I have deleted a lot of brain cells from 1987, so it could be called spray. Why did I think it was spread? Just confusing it with football, perhaps. Moving along. Before I get to this game, actually, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all of sports. They have NFL, college football, CFL, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and much, much more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boosts, and now you can use specials and boost on all flexed entries as well. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get on over there, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. Charleston Southern's heading to the penitentiary known as Lindenwood. Where you been the past few years? Man, shit. Caught a charge. I was up at Lindenwood. Early in the year, Charleston Southern surprised me. And also Lindenwood surprised me. So this is kind of a game of two teams that at one point I was kind of sold on. Now you're looking there a combined 3-8, but Lindenwood's laying 7.5. Southern won this game last season, 24-10. Hunter Stadium could be rocking. 81 degrees is what they're calling for. Give me Southern. Give me Southern to stay in this game. All right. No bet. No bet here. New Hampshire's heading down to Elon in the CAA. Elon laying 3. Elon's 1-4. Been a complete disappointment here, but Rhodes Stadium, will it be rocking? Perhaps. This is on Flow Sports too. I mean, New Hampshire fucked them up last year. I think New Hampshire's better than Elon right now, so I will take New Hampshire in the 3. But don't bet this game. I'm not signing up for this. So, let's go. It is spread according to. Well, oh, you spray. You said spray, so I was right. There we go. Makes me feel better better about myself in my memory. New Hampshire, though, the play for me is Elon. It's weird, Elon. You look at the roster, you're like, they're talented here, they're talented here. At the how the fuck are you losing this many games? New Hampshire's not the same New Hampshire though, but still, I think New Hampshire is the play. Towson is heading to Norfolk, Virginia to take Norfolk State. Towson's laying 13.5. Norfolk State to me is one of these ones that is just I was like really impressed with them game one. They just haven't taken that step forward that I thought they were going to take. It's 13.5 points. I'll lay it, but no bet here. Excited to see that one though. Chattanooga, Furman, SoCon. Series goes back to 1928. This game's fantastic. Furman has been kind of a mess this year. Chattanooga's laying 3.5. It's off of the real rivalry. Furman won this game 26-7 a year ago. It should be noted. That was in the playoffs, I believe, if memory serves me correct. I think Chattanooga is going to get all over them here. I think it's worth a sprinkle because this is a completely different Furman team. The only thing that's scary here is Chattanooga just had the rail rivalry, so it's a little bit of a letdown spot. But is it really a letdown spot if you lost to them in the playoffs a year ago? Give me the Mocs -3.5. Lock it up. Todd's with me in the chat. Let's go. Moving along. Presbyterian, Morehead State. Someone's got to win this shit fest. And I think it's the wrong team favored. You're in Morehead, Kentucky. Presbyterian, are they still doing the onside kick every other play? I think Morehead State's the play. Don't watch this game. If you watch it, you only watch this game if you're related to someone in the game. And even with that, you could come up with some excuse. What does he say in Major League? Guy calls him to be the manager. Lou, how would you like to manage the Cleveland Indians? Well, I got some drywall I got to do. Let me think about it. It's the way I feel about this game here. Give me Morehead State to get it done. Next up, Butler, Drake. This game's awesome. Pioneer League football. Who doesn't love it? Question who you are. Butler has been fun to watch this year. I know they've played I know the knock against them. They haven't played. Drake has one of the best upsets of the whole entire college football season. FBS, FCS, D2, whatever the hell you want to say. When they won on that Inferno rug there in Eastern Washington. I am fascinated by this game. I think Butler is going to I just want to watch this game, and I think I'm going to bet on Butler to cover this. I haven't bet it yet. This is another one I haven't sprayed the board yet or haven't used the spread, but I feel pretty convinced that this is a game that Butler can win, but if not, can stay within 4.5. It's a good game though. Series goes back to 1932. All right, support some good college football with some soul. Not this new bullshit they're sprinkling on us. UCLA, Rutgers, fuck out of here. Anyway, what I tell you, college football, the FCS college football experience is brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best in the business. BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. All right. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. Sign up and deposit $100 and you have a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. Woo! Let me tell you something. A 1960 Ford Mustang will get you ass. All right. That'll get you ass. Guaranteed. I don't give a shit who you are. That will get you ass. But also you can use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. And a deeper dive on that would be, and I know I live very close to like the ocean. I'm in like Venice, Santa Monica area. And like on Saturdays and Sundays, you'll have like this crew of people, and it's very common in California, probably in the whole world, but because you can go see it in Huntington Beach or in Manhattan Beach, but it's like this they're almost like a motorcycle club, but they just get old cars and they all go and hang out. But they'll go to like a popular place, like where the pier would be, and just park all their cars right there. And let me tell you, the amount of scattered ass that comes around there to see the cars, it's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. So I feel pretty confident with my assessment. Anyway, Rhythm. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds to get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props, all that good stuff. You can copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or you could build your own. That's what I do, and then it adjusts around that. Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop, and also has the slew of stats, research, trend analysis to give you even more betting insight. I like West Virginia against Iowa State tomorrow. That's one that I'm on. So yeah, jump over there on that. I also like the Edmonton Eskimos to get it done in the CFL. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Chat's talking about this, the consensus on the Prairie View Pine Bluff game. I went PV. I am a little biased. Bubba McDowell's been on this show before, but I think they're better. I do think they're better. Hey, these fucking Dragons, Virginia Lynchburg, they continue playing. Look, it's like the FCS wouldn't let them actually be in the FCS, but they're like, okay, well, guess what? We're going to play an FCS team every week. No line on this as they head to Durham to take on North Carolina Central. They need lines on these. The Citadel is heading to Western Carolina. I look last week, Western Carolina, obviously Koloe affected by, Hurricane Helene there. They played in front of nobody. It was COVID all again. Well, I think fans are allowed this week. And that should make it a little bit of a better home edge. I'd be curious to see the amount of people that come out. But the Citadel, is one that we took last week, and they lost in a nail biter, 17-16. But there's no denying that this Citadel team is just vastly improved from a year ago. It's when you watch it, you can see it. You know what I mean? Getting Jonathan Bennett from Liberty was huge, but it's also some of the other guys. What's his name? Graves Billups, I think his name is, at the receiver spot. And they're just night and day better than last season. Now the Cats took care of Wofford last week. I don't know that it was a great performance, but they got it done. And I think Western Carolina is the better team that's going to win this game, but I think 13.5 is too much. Give me the Citadel to get this thing to get the cover here. They bleed that clock with that rushing attack. You have limited possessions. So I will take the Citadel, but no bet. Sela is heading to Houston Christian. Should we talk about Houston Christian for a second? Because I'm impressed. That win against McNeese last week, very, very impressive. And if anybody follows the FCS, Houston Christian, if anyone out there does, they were horrible not long ago with Bailey Zappi and everything. They were just a very bad team. And they've lost coaches left and right, whether it's Ben Arbuckle, the guy, Braxton Harris to Campbell. But they're making it work right now because Jason Bichelle or Batchel, I think it is, came in there, and I've been really impressed. And they got my guy Colby Suits, huh? That's where he had him at his last stop as well, I believe. But they are way better than I thought they would be. I got to give them credit. So what am I doing here in this game? I'm taking Houston Christian. They're at home, but stay away game though. Not Sila's been a good program over the years. They're not great this year, but I'm gonna just ride with Houston Christian. CVS. They have a CVS as a part of their stadium, so we got a blue light special going on. Moving forward. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama A&M. This game's been happening for 100 years. A&M is laying 2.5. I think Bethune-Cookman's better, and I will take Bethune-Cookman to win it outright. Moving along, Alcorn State, Grambling laying 2.5. I think Grambling is the play. I will lay the 2.5 with Grambling, but I struggled with this one. I think they're better though, based on eye test. I do think they're better than Alcorn thus far this season. But don't have strong conviction to this game. The series goes back. That series though been happening for a minute since 1947. There, get on over there, check that game out. Merrimack taking on Morgan State. Morgan State's laying 6.5. Yeah, give me Merrimack in the points. Stay in this matchup. Don't bet this game. North Dakota State. This game's intriguing. North Dakota State, Southern Illinois. I feel like historically, and I think I said this for Illinois State 2 weeks ago, I feel like these Illinois schools have kind of been one of the teams or some of the teams that have actually fucked with the Bison. But this Bison team is really good. And the Salukis don't look so great this year. I'm going to lay the 16.5 with North Dakota State. I can't believe I'm saying that. I normally like to take the dog in these when it's in Carbondale. I'm going to lay it though. No lock. Northern Iowa is heading to Vermilion. Take on the Coyotes. Northern Iowa's fucking horrible this year. South Dakota's laying 19.5. I will lay it. Don't feel great about it, but I'm laying it. Just South Dakota's been impressive to me. How about this one here? Mississippi Valley State catch 27 in Montgomery, Alabama there against Alabama State. I'll take the points. I don't know that you bet this though. Youngstown. I can't believe this spread to tell you how bad things have gotten in Youngstown, Ohio. And how things have gotten so great in Brookings, South Dakota. South Dakota State is a 31.5 point favorite against Youngstown State, who used to be such a big time FCS powerhouse. Good God. 31.5. Give me the points. No bet. Delaware State is heading into Moon Township, Pennsylvania to take on Bob Morris, Bernard Clark, and Robert Morris. Robert Morris laying 7.5. No. Give me Delaware State. Fuck. I think Delaware State might even win on the money line. That's worth a money line sprinkle right there. Delaware State. Let's go. That's a good point, Ron, in the chat. The Dakota Marker games next week, so that's a look ahead spot too. So even more reason to like Youngstown plus the 31.5. Maybe that just turned into a fringe lock. This is one that Texas A&M Commerce taking on Northwestern State in a series that goes back to 1926. I was surprised to see this spread. Now I know Commerce. Both teams are combined 0-11. Commerce though, they had a weird hire when they went the arena football route, but I feel like they're just look better than Northwestern State. I think we should lock Commerce. Is that a bold statement there? I think we should lock Commerce. I just think they're not that bad. When I look at Northwestern State, they're fucking horrible. Let's do it. I'm locking up Texas A&M Commerce -5.5 on the road there. I also think the over 51.5 will hit. Shout out to Ryan Hasty who's rolling along with me there. Samford, East Tennessee State, Johnson City, Tennessee. UTSU's laying 5.5. This is another one. I'm East Tennessee State. I know I lost with them last week against Chattanooga. Bounce back spot. I will lay the 5.5 against Samford. Let's go. Told you I sprayed the fucking board. There's a lot of bets on the board tomorrow. This is only FCS. Princeton, Mercer, and Macon, Georgia. What's not to like about this matchup? Look at that old Mercer logo. Fucking fire. Mercer's laying 6.5. I'm not betting this, but give me Mercer -6.5. Northern Arizona, Montana, Washington Grizzlies Stadium. What is going on with Bobby Hawk's Montana Grizzlies? They just don't look the part this year. And now the Lumberjacks coming in there getting 14.5 points. The same NAU team that kept it really close with the Arizona Wildcats of the FBS. The same NAU team that beat Sac State. Now you could say Montana's kind of in a desperate spot here after losing to Weber last week, but I think it's too many points. Give me NAU plus the 14.5. No wager. But I do think it's way too many points. I think like it's fringe lock. I think it's a fringe lock. Yeah, Matola's with me. He's saying NAU's going to cover. Yeah, I'm excited to watch this game. I'm very excited to watch this game. Moving along, UT Martin, Western Illinois. Shout out to Western Illinois for getting getting off the schneid. You know, they've won 2 straight. You see what happens when you start winning? Now they're catching 22.5 at home against UT Martin. I'll take the points. No lock. Can't bet Western Illinois right now. Tennessee Tech is heading into SEMO to take on Southeast Missouri. SEMO should be undefeated. Their lone loss is to New Mexico State of the FBS. SEMO's laying 13.5 against GBO Farms' boys. I will lay the 13.5, but no lock there because Tennessee Tech early on kind of looked all right to me. Although I ate shit on them recently, but yeah, I think SEMO's the play. Stephen F. Austin, Lamar in a series that goes back over 100 years in Beaumont, Texas. Stephen F. Austin is laying 8.5. Both teams are 3-2. Now, Stephen F. Austin did win this game 42-6 the last time they played. But that was back when Blaine Morgan, the old Air Force quarterback, was the head coach. I think 8.5 is too much. I think it's too much. Give me 8.5 at Lamar. I'm tempted, but I'm not spraying the board here. Eastern Kentucky is catching 2.5 at Southern Utah. This game was a good game a year ago. EKU won by 7. I remember watching it. Southern Utah is 2-4, but I think they're a pretty good 2-4. I'm going to lay the 2.5. That's a far trip. It's a far trip. So lay the 2.5 here. Almost lock. West Georgia heading to Abilene Christian. Maverick. Oh shit! Did I put Abilene Christian? Wait a second. Did I fuck this up? We're heading to Central. I fucked this up. Heading to Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas is really good, but 24.5 is a big ass number. Give me the points. I fucked this up. My apologies. Portland State is heading to Pocatello in a series that goes back quite a ways. Idaho State's laying 5.5. This is one. Portland State's 0-5, but damn if they didn't play UC Davis really tough. Still, I feel like Cody Hawkins and and the Bengals are much better at home than they are on the road, I'm gonna lay the 5.5. No wager. Eastern Illinois is taking on Tennessee State. Nashville, Tennessee. Maybe they're tearing on the goalpost for Tennessee State. Throw that shit in the Cumberland River. Eddie George and East Tennessee State, and I feel like he's making progress. It's been slower than some other coaches, but they're 4-2. EIU is favored, but yet 1-5. Give me Tennessee State to win this at home. No wager. Utah Tech is heading into Tarleton, Texas. Take on these Texans. Tarleton's laying 21.5. Man, you want to talk about a team? What the hell? Utah Tech is just getting blown away every time I turn them on the TV. Yeah, I guess you got to lay it. Even though I'm not in love with this Tarleton team, but I think you got to lay it. Lay the 21.5. Abilene Christian. This is Abilene Christian. They head to Florence, Alabama to take on North Alabama. Abilene Christian's laying 9.5. Maverick MacGyver. I kind of like what I've seen out of North Alabama lately. This is a big step up for them, but they just blew out Utah Tech. Maybe that's why. Maybe I shouldn't read too much into it. But I'm going to take the points here. Just think it's a sleepy spot for Abilene. Give me the points in the Lions of North Alabama. Southern is taking on Texas Southern. Texas Southern's laying 11. I was surprised at this line. Give me Southern plus the 11 in a series that goes back to the 1940s. This one from the 1930s. Cal Poly heading into Davis, California. UC Davis barely survived Hillsboro, Oregon last week at Portland State. Meanwhile, Cal Poly, we were having a conversation about this in the office, that maybe they've turned a corner a little bit as far as being much more competitive lately. I'll take the 18.5 at Cal Poly rivalry game. Let's go. Give me the points. Nichols. This game's awesome. It's taking on Incarnate Word. I know Nichols is 2-3, but when you really look at it, they lost to Sac State and 2 FBSs. They're not as bad as what you think. And then IDub is looking pretty good. IDub's laying 5.5. It's in San Antonio. I think IDub is the play, especially considering Nichols won last year. So I am going to lay the 5.5 with Incarnate Word, but I'm not locking this one because I do think Nichols with Colin Guggenheim, the legendary Colin Guggenheim at the running back spot, they're a good team, and I feel like they can keep this thing close. Northern Colorado's heading to Ogden, Utah to take on Weber State. I think every time I think of Ogden, Utah, I was reading this piece, some old book. Wasn't even a biography. It was just, or maybe it was a biography. I don't remember. But John Madden was coaching at San Diego State back when they were, Division II or FCS or whatever they were calling it back in the '60s, D2, I think. And they played the staff that had just everybody on it. The Air Coryell staff with Madden and Joe Gibbs, and there was like 20 good coaches on that staff. I think Rod Dowhauer was on that. I was reading this segment. Maybe it was from a newspaper clipping, but John Madden or Air Coryell and Madden, Madden was the DC, which I think Joe Gibbs was the O-line coach or OC at the time. I don't remember exactly, but they go up there and it was like later in the year. And the both teams were, I think, like playing at a really high level that year. But San Diego, they were making fun of the San Diego boys up there in Ogden, Utah. So John Madden comes out with short sleeve shirt, which was much like Woody Hayes. And they do snow angels. He gets the whole defense to do snow angels on the snow. I don't know. Every time I think of Ogden, Utah, that's what I think about at that stadium. It's the same stadium, by the way. That thing has not changed. It's like Stewart Stadium, I believe. So Too many points. Give me Northern Colorado. Weber's coming off a gigantic win, ultimate letdown spot. But the problem is Northern Colorado they've been horrible this year. I'll take the points. Think about betting that. I'm thinking about betting that. Sac State is hosting E-Dub. Man, Sac State's laying 11.5 points. That's just too much for me. Give me E-Dub plus the points. Idaho, Montana State, game of the weekend. Absolute game of the weekend right here. Going on in Bozeman. You know, Idaho's just had so many guys dinged up this year, but they just seem to still be rolling along. The Vandals won this game at that filthy Kibbe Dome last season by 3, if memory serves me correct. Now they got to go to Bobcat Stadium. Gosh, this game's great. Montana State's laying 9.5. I'm taking Idaho to stay in this. I think Montana State's going to win the game. Give me like a 31 or maybe a 27-20 type of game. Idaho gets the cover. I'm going to bet this game just because I want to watch this fucking thing every snap. So let's lock this up. Let's lock it up. Yeah, I mean, Vegan's 25-1 at home. So don't take the money line. I just think can they stay within that number? Can they stay within that number? Damn, Ron's calling for 41-13. But you're a Bobcat fan though, Ron, correct? Should be a fun one though. Moving along. Oh no, that's all of them. That's their whole slate. Game of the best game of the day is the final game there. Folks, that's our show. I'll be back on Monday to do the reaction show, but you can ask me questions. So we have the FCS reaction show on Monday, but we have the regular FBS reaction show Saturday night. We could talk FCS too. Just drop it in the chat. Same with the pregame show tomorrow. So get on over there. If we have line movement, which in FCS you get crazy line movement. So yeah, feel free to do that. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Also, you can DM me. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Also, The College Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN as well. Please, if you can, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And let's go. We love FCS football action, right? And the slate tomorrow is fire. FCS and FBS. I'm very, very excited to sit back and watch every fucking game. All right, till next time, folks. Make sure you check out we did the Bombs Down Under with CJ Sullivan, my buddy. We also did the DFS show, myself, NC Nick. That's out there for tomorrow's DFS slate. Both slates, you can get in on that action. Also, the college basketball experience is coming up in a little bit here. Big Ten preview with like 1,000 teams. So my night's fucked. Yeah, we've been dropping episodes. We did the Big 12 on Wednesday. Prior to that, we did what did we do? Big East. They've been coming out. Go check them all out. When the season goes live, we'll be live every single night of the season the night before. So November 3rd on all the way to April 5th. Also check out the college baseball experience, Stadium Heads podcast, all that good stuff. Till next time, folks. This is the FCS college football experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot.